Good morning, Bill.
Morning, Bill. How's it going?
Not too bad. Let me change one thing real quick.
No hat today.
Hat today. The hair was looking somewhat regularly fro-ish, so decided to not put on the hat.
Roll with it today.
A little bit. How are you?
Doing good. How was your day yesterday?
It was just a day, right? Like nothing crazy. Did most of the stuff I wanted to do, but nothing too crazy. Got to walk in. Really just kind of used it to what's the word I'm looking for here? Just block and tackle all day is really all I did. Emails and small projects and helping out Melissa with a new hosting client and stuff like this. And yeah, what about you?
Very similar. I got a lot done. Knocked down a whole bunch of stuff from my work from here to Friday. I feel like I'm 60% done after Monday.
Whoa, that's huge. So you're gonna be done on Wednesday? You're not even gonna have a Thursday this week?
Yeah, exactly. I'll be done, and you can finish the week yourself. How about that? We always find more to do.
We still doing dinner tonight?
Yeah, looking forward to it on my calendar.
Cool. Okay, cool.
What time we good for? Do you know?
Whenever. I guess probably 6:30 or so. 6:30 is when we normally have dinner.
Okay.
But yeah, what do you got for today?
Let's see. Well, first off, I've got hello, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
She messaged yesterday and was like, missed you guys yesterday. I was like, I know, we kind of had a thing and we rebooted, but then Mike, what's up, man?
Mike, good morning, Mike.
Yeah, so we today I've got some writing to do. I'm doing a little writing, email writing for myself. I'm working on a funnel for people once they leave the accountability group and are considering going into your content camp or coming in and working full-time consulting.
Nice.
And so I'm trying to build a little bit of a sales funnel. And that's what actually I meant by Saturday or by strategy when I was talking about yesterday. What approach do I want to take to taking someone who I spend all this time with? And do I want to go like on the nose, like, hey, we just did this thing, here's what's next, and start pushing some triggers? Or do I want to keep it casual and lay down like some challenges, or like, I'm just trying to figure out like how I want to do that.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's largely what I'm working on today. I've got some other blocking and tackling and some stuff like that. And of course, you and I are going to work a little bit more on our dashboard tonight when we see each other for BIL here.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that too. I actually wrote that down so in my morning journal, my morning mindset, it says, what's one thing I can get excited about today? And it was BIL and soup.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, I've got a call today with yet another dashboard company. Like, you would not think it would be this difficult. And here's the deal. It's not if you want to spend $70 a month, right?
Yeah.
Like if I just want to spend $70 a month, $700 or $814 a year, then or $840 a year, then I would already have all this set up. But that's kind of out of the budget. So I'm trying to figure out ways of doing it for significantly less. And I've got a demo and call with this group today, and they do their pricing based upon connections and I think data draw itself. So I'm curious to see if that's going to be more expensive, less expensive, because really what I would love to do is be able to get like dashboards for all of our clients or my clients as well, right? And this looks like something that would scale and do very, very well for that. So
have you checked out Zoho actually has analytics? Like they have a separate division called Zoho Analytics.
No, I had no idea of that.
So they have a free account that I signed up for. I was going to bring it up when we talked, but since we're talking about it, they have free, and you can connect 3 connections, and you can have up to 3 dashboards. So 3 connections, 3 dashboards is not a bad start for free.
It's not a bad start for free. How much is that first paid level?
I don't know. I was having trouble getting signed up and whatnot. I finally got it. It's not 70 though. I remember that.
Okay.
But anyway, for us, I mean, if we're just trying to, and you can enter stuff. So you can literally enter data. So that could be our goal set, where we have a box where we enter our bill bets and then connect 2 pieces of data each. And that might be a nice start for us. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, for sure. I'll need to research that. I did not know that Zoho did any kind of BI or analytics or anything else like that. But
I don't know how good it is, but
yeah, and that's my kind of like standard thing. You know, they're always known for being so cheap that like it just makes me concerned about using any of their stuff. Right. Like, and that's a really crazy thing, right? The fact that they're known for giving free trials and free big sums is actually makes me concerned. Right. And yeah, it's a negative. Whereas, all these other tools, are, you get 14 days free or something else like that. And it's just easier to get into. Right. And I wonder if there's something to this whole freemium thing of like, everyone is just waiting for the shoe to drop. So the more you can do about being clear about when the shoe drops, the better off for success you are in a tool. Do you think there's anything to that?
Yeah, I think I've used so many freemium tools now over the last 5 years that my favorite model is the one, the always free model for like small amounts. You can use almost all the functions. Let's say 80% of the functions is you can basically use our whole tool for free if you're only using this, volume of it. I think that's the best way to do it because you're actually letting people do what they need to do. It's just if you've got any more than one website or when you're actually using it in volume, you got to pay us for it. But otherwise, take it. Go tell everybody how awesome it is.
Yeah,
that would be my favorite version.
I think it's funny how some companies take that slant, and then other companies are just trying to make sure you hit the wall. Like the HubSpot CRM, which is free. If you want one additional pipeline, you got to pay. You're no longer in the free version of that tool, and it's like one additional pipeline is going to be a data burden. Like it doesn't make any sense as to why like certain things cause the paywall trigger and stuff like that. Like Pipedrive has got this chat bot that you can put on your site and in different places and stuff like this, and that costs extra. That makes sense, right? Like another pipeline is it's not that much more data. It's not that much more capability. It's just you're choosing to milk, which you got to make money. I'm all for that, but that's why I'm not a huge HubSpot fan, because I feel like they're just trying to get you to pay. Which
I
don't know.
Slam you into the wall. Be like, oh, sorry. But.
Yeah, and there's too many other options, right? And so I've got a client right now, and they really want to use HubSpot, and they're at the $50 a month, but they also want to do MailChimp because they also want to do like some email marketing and things like this, and they've got a budget that they're supposed to stay under, and we're moving them off of MailChimp because MailChimp is confusing, right, and not the best tool to use anymore. Gonna put them into SendFox, which is $50 one time. For 5,000 sends a month, I think is what it is, which is crazy.
Yep.
And then we're going to get them into Pipedrive, build it out the same way that HubSpot's going to, and they're going to get, because they were going to need to upgrade to the like $400 a month or something like that level. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. You can get the same thing built and spend maybe $35 per month. So
yeah. Good upgrade. Yeah. No, MailChimp also tried to change and become more hip or something, because the stuff that they've got in it now is weird. I literally was just in there like last week for a client. It's like, this is not MailChimp anymore. It's weird.
Well, I set it up for adaptive growth whenever I was starting it, because like SendFox wasn't out yet, and so like I've had it for a while, and then I wanted to put in some automations, which of course is a paid thing. So then I had to upgrade to the pay level, but like, I don't know. It's hard to figure out. It's not really well organized.
They changed their language twice too, like in the last 3 months, of like what they call contacts. Like they don't even have a subhead for contacts anymore. They're just moving stuff around. So whatever.
Yeah.
MailChimp was always the free option, like cheap option anyway. Yep. And it's like, oh, you don't have a budget? Okay, MailChimp.
So. But not anymore. I mean, SendFox makes that so much easier, right? And you can build landing pages super, super easy. They're not going to be like overly designed and stuff like that, but copy's more important than design anyway. And if you're sending really relevant, targeted people to very relevant, targeted landing pages, no one cares about what they look like, right? They just want the value. So,
yep.
Anyway,
what you got on tap today, man?
I got a call with a client. I've got this dashboard call. I have a LinkedIn interview later on this afternoon with a client. We create their content and do some prospecting for them on LinkedIn. So we are having our interview to get some more fodder, to get to the writers, to generate more content. So it's going to be the big thing for today.
Gotcha.
And then dinner, and then I need to have a session with this new closer, and need to couldn't get the bulk of my like actual CRM system work stuff done yesterday because Go High Level, for as awesome as they are, cannot seem to get a password reset flow to work correctly because I'm not getting because I'm trying to log in with the same credentials and it's locked out. And I'm like, well, shit. So join their Facebook group, put a comment in there. I need to check that, and also submitted a ticket. So need to get in there. And yeah, it was kind of a frustrating day because I really wanted to get all the system stuff done, but really couldn't do that. And instead just kind of defaulted to a bunch of surface level work and not really the deep work I was wanting to do.
Yep. Monday.
It was a Monday. It definitely did happen for sure.
Cool. So anything pressing on you this week?
Not really, man. I kind of had this idea last night that so we've got two people on the website hosting stuff that we've got the realtors, right? And so one of them we've actually got signed up to do some marketing through like a white label partnership with my friend Brett. And then last night I was thinking like, man, could just be really focused on real estate agents, right? And turn parts of adaptive growth just into like website maintenance for realtors and marketing for realtors and become just that guy, because we can do everything from, like local SEO through a partner, through all the way up to the client that I'm working on right now has got a real estate lead deal, guarantees you 100 leads in a month, right? And 16% actually end up becoming like qualified leads ready to have a phone call, which is pretty legit. Mm-hmm. And then he'll actually set everything up for you, and then you can just have it after that. So all you have to do is keep putting in the ad spend, and like everything works okay. Because this big thing is these real estate agents, will invest in marketing. It scales up real quick, and then they get swamped and busy. So then they have to like take it back down again. So he's like, instead of the boom bust, situation and starting and stopping, let us build this for you and make sure it works. And then you just have it and run it. And if you want us to run it, we can. It's a little bit more expensive, but he's really trying to put the power of like digital marketing back into the hands of, the person doing it, and not, a media buyer or content writer or third party middleman agency owner guy. And I was like, this is really pretty smart. So
direct consumer.
Exactly.
So direct consumer. Yeah. And
so I between all those connections, like I really think that we could probably pretty much do anything necessary for like a realtor. Like we've had some interesting struggles with a couple of our realtor clients about like IDX stuff of getting their listings on their website. So we've got answers for that. We know how to set up all the other stuff as well about like application flows and getting paid for your applications and everything else like that. So if I can just tie in the marketing to that, then essentially I can be pretty full service for real estate people. Mm-hmm. And then that would give Melissa a lot more clients to work with on the management side of it. So I don't know. It was just an idea. I journaled about it for about half a page last night, and then I started thinking if this was just like a shiny thing or not, because I don't really know that it is. But yeah, I've been realizing that the super savvy agency owner doesn't really need a ton of my help from the CRM side, right? From the sales side, probably. I've got more training than they do. But there's other groups of people that really would be blown away by like what you can put into a CRM and how helpful it is. And we're already helping some of those people. So it might just make sense to like double down on that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So I think as long as you're chasing the kind of thoughts that you had last week about more like newbies that really could use the help of understanding of really not even understanding, like, hey, CRMs are good. Okay, show me how they work. Oh, that's awesome. Can you do this for me?
Yeah.
That's the type of people you need, not, oh yeah, I know, I've had a CRM for 5 years and I know how to do this, this, and this. And then you go teach them some super hack that helps them, like that's a few and far between. So I would say as long as, that real estate idea keeps you going down the path of people that are more the simple, just show me how you get sales type of people, then I think it could fit what they're looking for.
The thing about real estate people as well is they typically have got pretty big networks. They've got lots of connections, and they've got lots of people in various stages of it, right? So CRM is really actually very beneficial for those people because, lead, referral, meeting set, buyer sellers, and there's lots of little customization we can do in there that would really help out the realtor. So that, I'm trying to not talk about it and think about it too much because whenever I do, I can't like get off of that train. So, but this seems to make sense. And we've already got a couple of clients that were doing well.
The model that you were kind of thinking about heading towards anyway, which I totally agree with, which is to get away from the agency owner, teaching the agency owner and just helping people install CRMs and get more sales.
Yeah.
And that could, I like what you said there too. I didn't even think about that they have a huge volume of use around the CRM if they're using it correctly. It's not that you don't want to do that. They want to know when they should be following up. And
then if you're depending upon how the business is set up, there's like some really cool complexity that we can dig into there, right? If you're also an investor yourself, right, we can have that as a separate pipeline broken out, and we can track, different stuff, and we can get really in the weeds with it. And I think it would be really helpful to a lot of different real estate people. So I'm excited about that. The more I talk about it with you, the more I realize like, okay, this doesn't seem like as shiny as it did last night. It seems like it could make sense, right? Because like I could just be the guy for real estate agents for all right, get your site, get your marketing in place, get your leads in your inbox, and then also get your sales process CRM.
I don't think you have to like do this with yourself as far as, I think that's a great section to chase. But I think you can just say, small business owners who need help with complex sales, pipelines. Or remember yesterday we talked about in your Discord channel about niching. Not we didn't talk about, but you had put something up, right? About niching. Is that where that idea came from when you were talking about the real estate stuff?
No, it's just, so the thing that I think about right now, and I was thinking about this last night, and I think that part of my head trash comes from this idea of like, I'm just helping like everybody in small business, right? If you have a small business service based business and deal alignment is important, meaning that the client you bring on, you want to keep on. So the right expectations, understanding of how you deliver and everything else like that. So the sales process is a little bit different. It's not just like, hey, do you want this thing? Sure. Okay. Do we want to work together each month until we don't? Those are different kinds of sales, right? And the things that are important in those sales are very, very different, right? And so last night, I think I'm in that thing to where I can do this, but it's hard for you to understand that I can do it well because I've never been this person or that person and stuff like that. So I started thinking about it as, okay, like who are we doing well for, right? And on the hosting side, right, we've got 2 real estate clients. I've done some other real estate stuff, and we've done real estate stuff at Iron Egg in the past and everything else. So it's kind of like, oh, wait a minute, right? I've kind of done a bunch of these. Like I kind of know what's necessary and what's important. Right. And then on the sales side of it, it's like, oh, there's lots of things. And then I just happen to know people who can generate leads for real estate people as well. So I was thinking like, okay. And then from there, I started thinking about like what other areas that people have to network a ton, right, to get a full like kind of business line, and would be blown away by this because they need the help. And the other market that came to mind was financial advisors, okay, in a very specific niche. And I was talking with my friend who does this, not independent yet, but is about to. A lot of people move from like the corporate model to an independent model, right? So this is really cool because it kind of double qualifies itself, right? So if you're doing well enough to go independent, you have funds necessary to invest in your business. Right. If you've been working for somebody else this whole time, you probably don't have a CRM, you probably don't have a website, you probably don't have any content or anything else like this, and you decided to go independent. Cool, right? So it kind of double qualifies itself, right? Because I don't want to deal with the compliance of like any big firms because it's just a nightmare. Right. So who wants to do that? So you got to be successful to go independent, right? If you want my help, you need to have some money. So it kind of double qualifies each other, right? So I had that idea because I've had my Series 7. I've been a producer, right? I know what it's like to go sell in a terrible, terrible, terrible market. Like, oh my God. So I was thinking of that as like another potential market, and, getting really into like the weeds of like the things that I've done in the past that have also been helpful, right? Because I can speak the reason why I've got a network of agency owners that have helped is because I've been in that world, right? So I can speak the language. Same thing with financial advising. Same thing to a level with the real estate stuff because I haven't done it, but we've done it sites.
I look at agency owners. They're some of my favorite people to talk shop with, and some of my least favorite people to do business with. It's the way I see them because they tend to be smart people. They tend to like to try all sorts of things. They tend to be handy and like, we can cut a corner here because we're smart, and we can try this because it worked once here, so now we can do a bunch of here. And they're just, I think they're tough to work with. Whereas when you go and work with someone who's like, their goal is not to market other people, their goal is to market themselves and the services they have, it becomes a cleaner conversation of like, oh yeah, I just need to get to this customer because I've got this thing for them. Whereas agency owners have all of these things on their mind all the time, it feels like. And so I like the idea of breaking off into niches like that are ready-made for. Yeah. And that's actually what I said yesterday. I was looking for where you posted. LinkedIn is where you posted that about niching. And I like what you said because you were like, depending on basically how you see me, you might see me as a consultant, you might see me as a salesperson, you might see me as a coach, like just depending on how we worked together. But like, here's what I really like, right? And to me, that's what good niching is really about. It's just like finding your best customer, the one that like you love working with, and then just making sure you're speaking to them more often because you guys just work well together, right? So a lot of times it's not as easy as that because you have to find out who that best customer is. But when you do, don't drive yourself crazy trying to do demographics and all the different things. Like measure it, take them, use them, but like don't make that the reason you pick a group to work with, right? I'm going to work with people who are 40, who own a business. No, work with people that you really love working with, that you help really well. And that's a good niche. Yeah.
And that's the nugget right there, right? It's super easy to be like, well, I did this last, so let me make this the market because it's the most relevant. But, there is something to be said for like, I guess, like cultural norms of like inside of a company, right? A digital marketing agency, right? Creating leads and digital marketing assets has got a different level of tech savvy throughout that office as someone who doesn't have those things, right? Okay, cool. So, it's there's so many ways of getting the business, right? And getting to and in front of people, right? And the other really, really important thing is the market doesn't have to be that huge for it to be successful. Right. Because with this being an ongoing sale, right, if I get these people into like a CRM, either Go High Level, which I fulfill on, or something like Pipedrive, which I'm an affiliate on, and then I get some project work on the front end for setups and implementation and stuff like that, then what happens is, I get paid for forever. Right. So, in those instances, it's, if you can find a market with like 1,000 people in it, right, and you make $50 per person, and they're on average going to stay with you for X amount of time, like that's some real revenue, right? You just have to go get as much of it as you possibly can. And, because of all the networking I've done, I know a lot of realtors, like a ton of them, right? And like I could reach out the phone right now and be like, hey, I have an idea. I think we could do this thing for you. I think we could generate leads, right? I need you to pay for it. Would you be willing to do that? And I've got some people who are realtors who would be like, yeah, John, we can give that a shot. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty interesting.
Yep, for sure. Well, let's see. Do you? So I was curious on. This is off topic.
Okay.
I blanked. I forgot. I was trying to do well and keep the question in mind too, but I lost it.
I finished a book yesterday. I decided I was going to do the dishes because Melissa cooked. So I wanted to do the dishes. So I did the dishes and finished this other book by the same group that did Leadership and Self-Deception called The Art of, or The Anatomy of Peace is what it's called.
Yeah.
And man, super solid, super solid. Continues on with like a lot of the same work from the Leadership and Self-Deception book, but told in kind of like here's the origin story of why this company thinks this way and stuff like this. And it's really, really well done. And the framing of the book, I think you would actually really like, because this business owner goes there and finds out that he's, not been really treating people as people. And the people who put on the course are a Jewish person and a Middle Eastern person of Arabic descent who normally don't get along. Right. And so the story is about how they kind of saw past the differences of other people to see each other as humans and stuff like that, which is really what it's all about, guys. Like, you gotta understand that, like, even though you are arguing with somebody, that person has got their own hopes and concerns and fears and motivations and stuff like that. And the minute you see that person as just an impediment or something that helps you get to your goal, that makes you the bad person.
Yeah, and horrible at what you're doing in the conversation.
Yeah.
You immediately put a hindrance on your own ability to, negotiate and compromise and all that sort of stuff.
Absolutely.
I remember my question now. Actually, it wasn't a question.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing a theme in several of the things. I've been in a podcast with a conversation with someone, a Noah Kagan YouTube video, a book I read, all of them. I always wonder about these things, right? It's like when you get one message from multiple sources completely randomly, all within like a couple days or a week of each other, you're like, okay, what's going on? Like, is the universe trying to tell me something? Like, what's going on? Right. And it's the first time I saw it was Noah saying that he makes 97% of his income from AppSumo. Like, be really good at one offering. You can make a really huge company out of one offering, like literally one thing. And then I read it in another book. Actually, this is the one I'm going to show you. It's called Obviously Awesome. And it's about a book about positioning, like how you need to position yourself in the market to dominate the market, basically, to really be seen as someone who's how to nail product positioning so customers get it, buy it, and love it.
Interesting.
Service and I read it all yesterday. It's a pretty short read.
Okay. Can I borrow it? Can we bring it tonight?
Yeah, I'll bring it to you.
Cool.
But it also said where a lot of people fail when trying to grow a business is they try and do too many things. They just get really good at one offering and be like the person. So that just got me thinking, and I heard it in another podcast I was listening to, and it's like, what's my one offering? Like, what's the thing that I nail for people, right? It got me thinking about that, and so I wanted to bring it up to you to think about and to, probably discuss tomorrow or the next day. But like, I just thought it was really interesting. It's the timings of it was cool. And then I read this for a client. I have a client call today. It's a part of that group I was telling you about that's making tons of money. And I'm going to meet him today about doing some work for him. And he, last weekend was like, hey, go read this book. Let's talk about it on our call. I was like, okay, cool. I'm in.
Interesting.
So I'll let you know how that goes, but
yeah. Cool, man. Well, 8:15, so we've been on for 30 minutes. So it's probably as good a place as any to like quit, because we're trying to standardize the formatting a little bit, and I think that probably starts with time constraints before anything else.
Yes. We'll call it 15 to 30. How about that? We do a 15 to 30 minute daily.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. Well, cool. So I will see you this evening. Good luck on your date day, and let me know if you get stuck, and I will do the same.
All right.
All right, Bill.